and welcome back to the Algerian Football Show. Yes, it is still the same Algerian football channel, just looking a little bit new around here. It's still going to be the same content, all the Algerian football stuff, but a little bit more stuff that I like to get up to as well, you know, West Ham stuff, challenges, maybe some gaming, Q&As, stuff like that. So welcome back to the channel. We're going to be doing the Algerian Football Show today. In a few days' time, I'm going to probably do a Q&A. I've already received some questions for the Q&A. If you want more questions for the Q&A, leave them in the comment section down below. I'll try to answer as many of them as possible in the next video. It can be about football or not football or anything in general, like food or whatever you want to ask me. So, welcome to my channel, guys. You can see I've got a new shirt. Today is the Algerian Football Show, every Sunday night as we like to do it. A few top stories to talk about. Of course, Algeria recently had their 2 qualifying games for the World Cup. Now all the players back with their clubs, some new players in action. Of course, a few players made some transfer moves. So, got a few topics to talk about today. We're going to start with Mohamed Fares. Now, the left back, of course, went to the AFCON where Algeria won. He was the backup left back to Rami Bentabane. Always played at a high level. He's in Serie A for the past few years. Went to Lazio. Had a couple of injury problems at Lazio. Didn't really work out for him. Didn't play that much. Had a little bit of game time in the Champions League, but not too much. He's made the move to Genoa, and what a debut for Mohamed Fares, right? He's not even started the game. He's come off the bench, played in the left wing-back position, and he scored 2 brilliant goals, and he's actually won the game for Genoa with 2 goals on his debut. And I just wish we had that little bit of quality against Burkina Faso. If we had Fares coming on instead of Kassef, I think it would have been a lot better. But it does show, if we have all of our players fit, we've got a lot of quality in some areas. You know, Bentabane and Fares is 2 very good, respectable left-back options. Remember, Fares played in the AFCON group stage against Tanzania, looked very good. He is a top player, and he can compete with Bentabane for that left-back spot. I think the 2 are not as far away from each other as people think. So it's great to have options. It's good to have squad depth, and I think it's very promising that Fares has scored 2 goals. It shows his attacking qualities. But Mardi, if he wanted to play a back 3 one day, I don't think he will, but if he wanted to play a back 3, he could play Fares left wing back and Atal right wing back, for example, if he wanted to. But I don't think you need to play 3 defenders at this stage. But it's good to have the options there, and he's a very good player. Maybe better going forwards than Bentabane, and maybe Bentabane is better slightly defensively. I think Fares will get a lot more attacking returns, but both 2 very good left backs. Great to see Fares doing well. Of course, we've had history in Serie A with left backs. We had Fauzi Gulam at Napoli for a number of years, but he's had this horrific knee injury and hasn't been called up by Belmadi. So Gulam's days look to be over. We've got Bentabane, we've got Fares, and then you've got the likes of Ait Nouri at Wolves, who could play for Algeria. You've got Yasser Laroussi playing in France. You've got Yanis Hamash playing in Portugal, and of course you've got the likes of Kassef and Abdellaoui if you need 7th and 8th choice. So there are choices there at left back, but great to see Fares getting a move, getting on the score sheet. There's been quite a few players on the move. Belfodil playing for Hertha Berlin. He started for Hertha Berlin. Didn't get on the score sheet, unfortunately. But again, playing in the Bundesliga, more options for Belmadi to be looking at, more quality players. So that's very promising indeed. Andy Delort is another one. He played for Nice for the first time. He didn't start the game. I think Nice are going to have a very good season. And with the manager that they've got, that won Ligue 1 with Lille last season, could Nice pull off a surprise? I'm not saying they're going to finish ahead of Paris. Well, they've got Messi and Ramos and Neymar and Mbappe, for goodness sake, but they could certainly try and push for a Champions League place, Nice, with the squad that they have. And you look at the Algerian contingency there with Atal, Badawi and Delort. Of course, Gouiri doesn't want to play for us. Gouiri did score. Nice won by 2-0. Delort came off the bench and got an assist pretty much straight away. He played a brilliant 1-2 with Gouiri. Gouiri to Delort. Delort back to Gouiri. That was the 2nd goal. Could that be a partnership we see this season as well? Could Delort convince Gouiri to play for Algeria? Well, Gouiri doesn't want to play for us, basically, so enough about him. But Delort's looking very good with 2 goals and 2 assists already in Ligue 1 this season for Montpellier and for Nice. But it does beg the question, why does Belmadi not like to play Andy Delort more often? Why doesn't Delort play for Algeria as much? He prefers Slimani. He prefers Bounedjah. We know Slimani is after this all-time Algerian goal-scoring record. We know Bounedjah is Belmadi's first choice striker. I'm still not fully convinced on Bounedjah. I've said this before. Good player, but again, he reminds me of a championship striker at AFCON. 1 penalty and 1 deflection. You need a striker that's going to get you 3, 4, 5 goals at a tournament. I think Delort gets you that. Delort very good striker, deserves more game time. Perhaps there is some prejudice against him because of his background and the fact that he picked Algeria late and the fact that his name's Andy. I do think there's a little bit of that involved, unfortunately. But he's got quality, he's got pace, he's good in the air. I want to see Delort play with Algeria more, and he's got good link-up play, and this relationship he's going to have with Gori could be deadly with Delort and Gori up front in Ligue 1 this season. So a brilliant start for Andy Delort in Ligue 1. There's a lot of Algerian players in Ligue 1, of course, with a lot of France-based players. Now, there is a player that a lot of people have been talking about, and I've started to keep an eye on him because I think it's difficult to ignore the 23-year-old Ilan Kebbal. Now, this guy at Reims, he looks sensational. He's been playing in the French lower leagues. He's playing in Ligue 1 now, I think, for the first time. 23 years of age. He's only 5'5", so he's quite small, quite nifty. Playing in midfield, I don't even know what his best position is. I think Kebbal could play in midfield. He could play on the left, on the right, not through the middle. I think he could play either wing. He could play in central attacking midfielder. You could play in centre mid. This guy, the way he drops his shoulder and his low centre of gravity and the way he gets past players and the quality Kebbal has on the ball. Now, this is a player I don't think is ever going to play for France. I don't think they'll be interested in getting him. But for us, I think Belmadi has got to start getting... There's a few players Belmadi has to start calling up because our squad is quite old. And we're still relying on the likes of Faguli and Slimani from the 2014 World Cup. Time to get some fresh faces in. We need some young players. We've got a big World Cup qualification campaign and a World Cup itself, hopefully. Kebbal is one of those players we have to be looking at. This guy has got so much potential, and you put him in our squad and you surround him with better quality players. You put Mahrez around him, you put Belali around him, Benrahma around him, Benassa around him, and you think how much better he could be. This is a player just 23 years of age, still young. Now, I think he's registered some interest in wanting to play for Algeria, and I think this is a huge possibility. This weekend, he got 2 assists away to Rennes. Brilliant player. The way he spots a pass, fantastic player. This is someone we've got to try and get on board. There's a few I think we should be getting. I think we should be getting Akim Zadadka, the right back, to be back up to Yusuf Artal, particularly with Artal's injury record. Artal was on the bench for Nice this weekend, so he is getting better from his injury quite quickly. So you'd expect Artal to be available for the October World Cup qualifiers. But if we can have Zadadka as the backup right back, I think Ilan Kebbal as well as a midfield attacking option, just freshen up the squad. He's done it a little bit. He got Medioub, he got Zerkan, he got Zarouki, he got Touba. I think we still need a little bit more. We need a little bit more. And Kebbal is playing in Ligue 1. It's a good quality level. He's starting week in, week out. He was playing recently against Paris Saint-Germain before the international break, and Thierry Henry was very praising of him. This is a player we should be trying to get on board, and someone I think with real quality that can add something different to the squad. Because someone like that, who can a little bit smaller, can get past players. Very good option for Belmadi. We haven't really got anyone like him in this squad. So again, good to get more players involved. This isn't someone like Maxime Lopez or Yassine Adli that's difficult to get. This is a guy that I think would be very interested in playing for the Algerian national team. Elsewhere in the Premier League, Riyad Mahrez on the bench again for Manchester City. Surprised by that one, particularly because it was Leicester away. It was Mahrez's old club, a stadium where he scored many goals throughout his career at the King Power Stadium. Didn't see Mahrez get on the pitch. I don't know what Pep's doing. He seems to like playing Torres, Jesus on the wing. Jack Grealish probably has to play because they've just paid £100 million for him. But Mahrez is not getting in the team, and that's without the likes of De Bruyne and Foden playing at the moment, and Sterling. It's disappointing because Mahrez is probably at his peak now. He's probably got a couple more years left at his peak, and then he's going to start declining, unfortunately. And I don't want him to be sitting on the bench throughout this season, otherwise he should have left. And particularly with how instrumental Mahrez was in that Champions League campaign, getting Man City to the final, he should be starting. And Man City only won the game by 1 goal. Leicester had a goal disallowed from Vardy, which was very tight for offside, and then City took the lead shortly after, winning 1-0. Let's give Mahrez some minutes, man. He's come off the bench in a couple of games. He's got 1 goal, 1 assist in the Premier League this season. I want to see him start more games. Maybe when the Champions League and the Cup start, you're going to start seeing Mahrez starting those games that maybe don't matter as much, but come on, Pep. Play Mahrez. We need Mahrez playing week in, week out. We need him to stay fit because we saw in the last 2 games, Mahrez, to be honest, wasn't that great. Against Burkina Faso, Mahrez should have come off. I don't think Belmadi had the nerve to take Mahrez off. I would have stuck Rashid Gazelle on that right for at least the second half because Mahrez didn't do much. And even the first game against Djibouti, not that much. I think 1 goal, 1 assist. You expect more from a player of Mahrez's quality. So disappointing for him. Benrahma started. He got about 60 to 65 minutes. He got substituted. I hope Moyes doesn't drop in. West Ham have got Europa League coming up. That's going to kick in. I wonder if Benrahma is going to play in the European games, but he slowed down a little bit. Again, another player that, away with Algeria, Benrahma wasn't that good. You can see why Belali plays over him. 3 assists for Belali against Djibouti. Benrahma comes on against Burkina Faso, didn't really offer anything, and I don't know why that is. Is Benrahma an on and off player? When he was at Brentford, he was doing it week in, week out. Is that because it was at the championship level? I think Benrahma is good enough to play in the Premier League, but you need to find a level of consistency. When Mahrez first went to the Premier League, I think in his first season, he only scored 4 goals, and that was when Leicester nearly got relegated. So I want to see some progression from Benrahma this season. Yes, he's already got 2 Premier League goals, which is more than his 1 goal last season, but I want to see more, because I think he has got that quality. Maybe it's a bit of confidence, but hopefully Benrahma stays in that West Ham side. But anyway, guys, that's it for this week's Algerian Football Show. Thanks for stopping by my channel this week. Subscribe for more. I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.